fresh out the oven.
What is cracking, everybody? It's MegapiemanPHD here, and welcome back to another devlog. A devlog video. Let's look at my map for Payload Midwest Alpha 5. And there are changes! Let's talk about them. Now, I don't remember if I made a video for Alpha 4, because I'm dumb. I think the last video I did was for a version of Alpha 3 for Midwest, but even though there were a lot of changes between 3 and 4, I felt like I could just wrap those changes into talking about 5, so that's what I did. So we're going to talk about changes I made for 4 and 5, mainly with 5. So let's talk about things. First of all, this building right up here, as you can see, it's a bit more detailed. It's still early for detailing, but the map, at least this part of the map, A and B, seem to play pretty well. I haven't really had anybody comment about them. I haven't really had any issues with them. So I'm at the point where I'm trying to feel out exactly what I want this map to look like, so it can help me figure out how to do the layout at this point with theme. When it comes to making maps, you do not want your theme to dictate your layout. That's a very bad idea. If your theme is a farm, or and you want to make it look like a realistic farm, which does not look anything like a map you would find in a video game, unless it's a big wide open spaces. Let's say a video game like Team Fortress 2. Usually it won't work out too well. Even more wide open space games, unless they're like full open world, you still can't, if you stick to the theme too much, a lot of the times it'll make your layout worse. You want to focus on your layout, and then apply the theme, and then apply the layout, and the theme and the layout, you know what I mean? If you can kind of try to figure out what I'm trying to say. Layout first, theme second. Let your layout determine your theme, determine your layout, determine your theme as you go through development. If I can get across what I'm trying to say. I'm saying so many words that are nonsense. Hopefully somebody can figure out. Yeah, anyway, trying to figure out exactly how I want this map to look, and using this building here as kind of a template to figure that out. But I did change around things to A for the first time since the map's in existence. I added this path over here for this one-way door. Now, people generally don't seem to like one-way doors, and I understand why. It's kind of annoying to only have a door that can be used by one team. Well, not even by one team. A door that can only be opened from one side. It can make things a little bit obnoxious, a little bit finicky to work your way around. I don't know if I will keep it. But for now, I added this one-way door to try to make these buildings, this whole section over here, a bit more utilized by both teams. From what it seems is that when Red wants to build up their original defense, they build up here. They don't build up back here or over here, which was the original idea that I had designed this area for. They build up here. And the problem with that is that once that front line, once that first line of defense is down, then blue team just kind of keeps on pushing all the way through here. Instead of red being able to have people all in this area, or all in this area, they just all go to this one choke point, and then when everybody dies and respawns, they gotta walk all the way over there. And that's not super great. You don't really want a spot, yes and no. You don't really want a spot where there's going to be like a lot of team wipes. If 95% of a team gets killed at the same time, then the attacking team is going to be able to make a lot of forward progress rather quickly, while the defending team respawns and regroups, which can be kind of not fun. So the idea is to try to change the front line from being here to being here. Something like that. Something like that. Like Red's front line, when I was originally designing this map, I wanted Red's front line to be this right here. That didn't really work. They sort of pushed themselves back to this being their front line, because I wanted Blue to have this whole area, basically, so that you don't have the issue that some payload maps have, like even Upward, which is a really good payload map. It has this problem sometimes. Badwater has it a lot, and that's where Blue Team, the entire round, cannot get out of their spawn room, because right in front of them it's saying they can't even get, that's not that they can't get out of the spawn room, they can't get out of their base. They can't even touch the card, let alone look at the thing, because Red Team is right up in their grill, either sniping or blowing them up or blowing them up with sniping, and that sucks. I never have fun with that. So I'm trying to give Blue an area of the map that they own right off the bat that is theirs. So instead of the front line being like here, right in front of it, the front line is a little bit back around this building. But where the front line is, because it's so tiny at this moment with this little choke point, everyone groups up here, then they all die, and then Blue just goes, it's like this. It's like you got ding, you know what I mean? That's not exactly what I'm looking for. I'm looking more for a more even sort of dying, if you can understand what I'm trying to say, throughout the track. So, and I'm thinking by putting this over here will make it so that Red Team will have to back up their defense a little bit and make more use of these buildings in order to cover this and cover this. It's like if you build a sentry up here, you can cover there, and you could cover there. If you build, if you have a sniper who's sniping here, you can cover that rock, and you can also cover that door right there. You know what I'm saying? If you build up a sentry gun over here, or like right here, this spot right there, you can cover here, you can cover there, and you can cover there, all with one sentry gun. All with one sentry gun. If you have a Wrangler, all with one sentry gun. So that's the hope. I don't know if it will play like that. That's the idea. That's the hope. That's my thought process behind what I'm doing with A point. Hopefully I'm making some sense to people. Hopefully not. And I'm not just, it's talking like an idiot. I also changed up some of the detailing with this. I changed the original, I had these security fences over here. They weren't really working. They didn't really look right, and they just didn't fit the area that I needed to fill, so I changed them to these boards, and I really like that. The Barn Blitz boards fit in really well with the harvest ground texture that I'm working with. And the skybox, which I was previously using the skybox for King of the Hill Harvest, mostly because nobody ever uses that skybox. King of the Hill Harvest is the only official map that uses the King of the Hill Harvest skybox, but it was kind of... people didn't really like it. It was very yellow. I messed with the lighting. I got the lighting down for it. People still didn't really like it, so I messed around with some of the custom skyboxes from the Swamp Pack, or the missing content from the Swamp Pack, because when the Swamp Pack was created, it was a pack of assets. Valve bought most of the assets, but not all of them. Didn't buy all the textures, didn't buy, I mean, they bought all but like one particular model, and they didn't buy any of the particles or skyboxes. So, it is a custom skybox. I used this before a long time ago on a map called Lumberland that was loosely based off of the Lumberland Sawmill from Red Dead Rampage. That map sucked, but yeah, I think it works. I think it all works here. It's sort of like Harvest, but not as bad, is what I get from what people are saying. So, yeah, there we go. All right, moving on. Let's move on. It's about A. What else did I do over here? Originally, these two silos were a little bit closer together, but that was causing the silo top props to sort of go into each other, so I spaced them out a little bit. I moved this silo over to the right a bit, so now there's a bit more cover over here for defenders. I also moved around some of the health and ammo all the way around the map, so there's no longer a health and ammo pack over here. I think I moved around some of the health and ammo here. Yes, I took what was in here and put it outside there to try to make it a little bit more accessible to defenders opposed to attackers. And I swapped the full ammo with the medium-sized health pack. Now, previously I had the medium-sized health pack over here, and the reason why I did that is so that if an engineer was building up over here, and they wanted a quick way to get metal, they had to cross this danger zone in order to get the metal and then come back. I decided that, well, that did work. It didn't work exactly the way that I wanted it to. So I swapped them around. An engineer can now, they have the metal in order to quickly build up a defense and keep their defense up a little bit easier than before. And if they really are hurting for health, they can run over here and grab it. Or if they just use the metal to build a dispenser, they don't really have to leave this area if they don't have to. Or not necessarily them, but their buildings. Because with the Wrangler, you can heal buildings from far away. Pow, pow, pow. Heals! Heals! It's a shotgun full of heals. Boom! Healed. There you go. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. Yeah, so it's like they can stand over here and heal their stuff from there, or if you want to be a turtle and engineer, you can sit back over here with your full ammo pack and dispenser and build up over there. Blue team should still be able to attack thanks to this over here, and they can quickly get around this way and over that way. They can outrange it a little bit unless they have a Wrangler and that kind of lovely nonsense. Fix this door, so this actually opens now after B is captured, because I was an idiot before, and it didn't. And I changed this. Now, previously, this ramp right here was a stairwell. And the reason why I changed it is because the ramp now moves. Now, if you'll bear with me for a second, I will show it moving. I will use the console commands. Just give me a moment. SV. I should have set this up before I started recording. Cheats. 1. Int fire. Extendo. Ramp. Open. Yes. Now it closes. Now that happens after B is captured. Originally it starts like this. Starts out like that. It's a funk door rotating that I figured out how to get the angles to work. It's just the entity that I'm using for that. It's pretty simple. But the reason why I did that is I noticed that after B is captured and blue team are pushing their cart over to push towards C, red team not only has a lot of defensive access over here, but they can go all the way up here, go up this ramp and get right in the face of blue team, and I don't really like that. That means they can very easily get behind blue team. Now, they still do have this tunnel. I might put a door here in the future that closes off. I might not. I haven't figured out whether or not I want to do that. But they do still... I might actually put a one... Nah, people don't like one-way doors. I don't know. Maybe, if it becomes a problem. But they still have this tunnel that they can use to get around blue team. But it takes a bit longer for that to happen. So it's a lot less likely that it will happen. I didn't think about it now, but if an engineer goes through this tunnel, grabs that, and then builds... like over here somewhere, builds a teleporter. You can teleport in behind, but even if they do teleport behind, blue team spawns right here. They spawn, they can just go out this way and blow everything up that way. So, it shouldn't be a problem. I don't think. It might be, I don't know. But it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Anyway, if they're going to go around blue team, they've got to do a bit of a longer distance than before. So when B is capped... then this closes like that, and now red can no longer use it. Blue can still use it as a drop-down to attack C, but red cannot use it to defend C. And I moved the health packs back here, so if you want to explosive jump your way up here, you can't immediately explosive jump right into a health ammo pack. You gotta go a little bit. I might move that, honestly, but you gotta take a little bit more of a distance in order to get to it. I might move that somewhere else, because there is a lot of health and ammo around here. We'll have to see how this all plays. I might put that over here, maybe, and then move this. I don't know. We'll see how things go. This area over here should now get actual more use, because this door works, and this building has now become a place that you can go. Previously, you could only go here and here, although I did widen this up. And you could only go in here as red team for defending B. So you would go here, then you would go that way. You could go through the tunnel, you could go up the ramp for defending, and then when B's captured, you can't go up the ramp anymore. But for after B's captured, all of this is ideally blue's area for attacking red team. Previously, I had it came out sort of like this. Up here and came out like this and then like that for Alpha 4. I changed that dynamic around a little bit to try to give blue team a bit more of a high ground, because red team was using this building to stage pushes against blue, and that's not what I want this building used for. This building is not for red team to attack a blue team or to get around the cart. This is for blue team to be able to attack red team who's built up over here. I don't know if I talked about it last time, but I did make this area wider as well. I can't remember if that was A4 change or before that, but because this area is wider, it should be a little bit easier to get up to this conveyor belt here. And I also moved around the arrow sign. Originally, the arrow sign was here, pointing that way, which some people took as, when they were walking out of here, oh, the arrow's pointing toward the stairs. That's where I'm supposed to go. What it was supposed to do is that the arrow's pointing that way. But instead, they're like, the arrow's pointing that way. So I put the arrow over there, so now they look at it and like, oh, the arrow's pointing that way. Hopefully. And I did move around some of these signs here. Previously, I had D on this, but some people were thinking, because of how close D was to C point, some people were thinking that this was D point. That is not why that was there. This D sign is here so that you know that this building is where the final fourth objective is. This is C, where the C signs are. That is D. I didn't want to get people confused, so I changed that. I also put a staircase over here, so this building originally was just a drop-down for red, is still a drop-down for red, but blue team can also use it in order to get up to this high ground area to try to deal with snipers. Now, a big issue that's been going on with this map so far is that snipers love this spot up top here. And this building here with these big windows hopefully lets blue team counter some of that. And with the ability to get over in this building and get up there, you can maybe get around as a spy. If you can get through here a little bit easier, you can shoot some grenades up there or get up that around that way as a spy. And red team didn't really have a whole heck of a lot of good ways. Well, they did have good places to build sentries, but unfortunately they didn't have good placement of ammo packs to help them build sentries or get ammo for, you know, shooting people. So I put the big ammo pack that was down here, I put up here to try to make this more of a sentry area, and possibly if there's sentries here, if it's more of a sentry area, maybe snipers will think of, oh, that area's already covered, I'll go somewhere else. It's a bit of a mind game. I don't know if that'll work, but maybe it will. And that's also why I moved this health and ammo pack from wherever it was before to where it is now. But this whole area's changed because I changed this whole dynamic for how D will play. Now, in the Alpha 3 tests that I was having of this map, I didn't really get to test D because blue team couldn't get there. In Alpha 4, they could get to D, but they couldn't cap it. And the main reason why they couldn't cap it, it seemed to be, was because red had access to all of this high ground, and they didn't lose that access after C was captured. I did have this over here. I still have this door, but I changed things around a little bit. That door will shut after C is captured, so Red team can no longer easily go this way, but previously I had stairs that would allow them to go over here. They just couldn't go from there to there. They'd have to go around that way. I thought that would be a little bit of a longer of a route. Didn't really seem to impact things. Then I got rid of the steps and put one of these containers up there to make it a bit of a jump path to try to slow people down and make it less appealing of a route. That still didn't seem to slow people down or stop people from being able to use that. So I changed it completely. After C is captured, this door shuts, and Red no longer gets access to this area unless they want to explosive jump up there. But there is this route. Red still has this route for going out if they want to, and Blue also can use this route for going in. And because of it's all low ground here, when Red uses it, Red is at a disadvantage of pushing out, and Blue is at a disadvantage of pushing in. So Blue team should, like, Blue team here, this is theirs, this is theirs, this is theirs, go down. Oh, it's not theirs anymore, this is the kill box. Red, this is theirs, this is theirs, this is theirs, oh, this isn't theirs anymore, this is the kill box. But Blue team gets access with these stairs here, and the newfangled stairs over here, plus from this conveyor belt route, they get access to all of this up here, which I did make a lot wider than it was previously, because previously it was a little bit too cramped. They should get access to all of this, and access to all of this, which means that they can use this for attacking. And Red should no longer be able to easily get players up here. Of course, players can still get up there if they take the long way around, or somebody's built a teleporter up here. But there's not really a whole heck of a lot I could do about that, and without just completely blocking off access up here 100%, which I feel is stupid, and I don't want to do that right now. If I absolutely have to, maybe I'll think about that later on, but I'm hoping that this new flank route and this changing of routes will make D-play a little bit better than it was previously. It seems that the cart tends to get stuck up here. It doesn't really tend to get stuck here, but it gets stuck here, and then usually it gets stuck here from what little bit of testing that this map has had so far. Although, when one of the tests I did for A4, somebody, or was it a test I did for A5 that just didn't have a lot of players? I don't know. But I was a heavy, and I was trying to push the cart, and then I got air blasted by a pyro over these containers all the way over to this platform, which was awesome! I love that dynamic. You got this big death pit here with this power source thing from Nucleus, which looks pretty dang cool, and I'm glad I was able to get this to work. Those are custom particle effects I've got going on that, because the particle effects for normal Nucleus only work when it's standing up and not when it's sideways. I think when it's vertical and not when it's horizontal like it is here. So, ASG, Alligator, and Exactal, the master of making particles, Exactal on TF2 maps, made horizontal versions of it, so that's what I'm using there, and it looks all nice and dandy. It is blue. Maybe I'll see if I can make a red version or something. I don't know, and it's also a little bit of an Easter egg to Synthetic, the Halloween version, with Sinclair Technologies having built this power source that's being hidden in the feed mill of Midwest Mills. Is the thought process. Anyway, I haven't really changed any of this over here, because this over here hasn't really had the opportunity to get tested all that much. What little bit has been tested of this area seems to be fine. That route seems to be fine. Maybe a little bit too congested. I did widen it out a little bit. But everything here seems to be kind of okay. Seems to be playing pretty well from what I've seen. The big problem has been here. This area, the area between C and D. It seems to be this spot right here is an area that has had most issues, and then between C and D has had the most issues. I'm hoping these new routes and changes will get it all to play a little bit better. I'm liking how it's looking, but then again, just because it looks good doesn't mean it plays good. So we'll have to see how things go. And that is pretty much it for Midwest Alpha 5. I know I have been talking a lot for a long time, and I'm gonna stop doing that. So thank you very much for watching. Please let me know what you think of this video or the map. You can check it out over on tf2maps.net. Download it, check it out for yourself, play it, maybe put it on a server, get some other people to play it, let me know, leave feedback. Let me know what you think. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it cool? Does it suck? Is it potential? I don't know. I did do some optimization for this version of the map. Haven't done a lot of optimization, but I have done some optimization. And the more detailing that I do add will mean more optimization. But I'm liking the map so far. It's got the nice curl to it. A lot of payload maps, in order to make the maximum use of their space, do a curl motion. You see that in Badwater. You see that in Gold Rush, even though it's 3 stages. You see that in Upward. I think like the only Valve-made payload map that doesn't go in like a swirl is Barn Blitz, which was sort of the original layout that I was kind of going for with Midwest, but now that everything's changed, it's a lot less like that. I'm excited about this map. I'm happy with the production of this map so far. I haven't had to do a whole lot of cutting and redoing ever since I raided C and D. And I'm glad that that I feel like I finally got to the position where I can make a layout that I don't have to fully scrap and start over from scratch. That's how it went with Synthetic, King of the Hill Synthetic, the normal version, and the Halloween version. Rush kind of had to do that a little bit for one of the stages, but stage 2 was pretty good for Payload Race Rush, which is basically done. I just need to finally release that map, and I'm feeling pretty confident with this version so far. So thank you very much for watching. That is it. I'm going to go not talk for a while. Bye.